on Monday. Hi, everybody. Robert Williamson set to bring you the coverage. Let's take a look at the gentlemen who will be on the floor first in this one. And here are your five for Indian Hills: Cassie, Nimmers, Sparks, LeBeau, and Hermes. And where Coastal North is concerned, an almost completely different look. The only commonality between the starting lineup today and Monday is McIntosh. You got Blackshear, Durant, Whitehurst, and Anderson all on the floor as well as they meet at midcourt. Hermes and McIntosh, as we are ready to get your basketball underway from Monroeville, and the opening tip, it is controlled by the home team. Three and one coming in are the Warriors. Meanwhile, Coastal Alabama North a tad above the 500 mark. Whitehurst, you will get fouled on the trip in. Cassie, the guilty party. And that's got Whitehurst going to the stripe and shooting. The loss by 4 on Monday came to a winless Delgado squad. And as I mentioned, I had a conversation with Coach Chuck Taylor prior to the ball game, and he was candid with not being particularly pleased. So some noticeable changes in the starting five. And obviously the guys that started on Monday will get into the game. They're just not going to start this one. Ball game that preceded featured a ranked team against the Lady Coyotes of Coastal North, but it was a Pearl River squad, not an Indian Hills team. And in that one, Pearl River wins their 4th of the year. Coastal North falls to 4-3. Blackshear with a miss. Cassie losing and able to find the loose ball as Durant. In the corner, Blackshear, Durant working into the timeline, left side, over to McIntosh. Whitehurst on the right side. Anderson out to set the screen. Taken into the glass, that is Whitehurst, rejected by Cassie. Thinking about the three was LeBeau, instead putting up the three. That is Sparks. And Sparks will give the quick 3-point lead to Indian Hills. Blackshear near the charity stripe. Down it goes to Anderson. Whips it over to McIntosh. Shoots the three. Knocks down the three. And it's a 1-point game again. Hermes driving it down low. A battle of the big guys, and Hermes committing the offensive, knocking down Anderson. And it will be Coyote basketball with an opportunity to take the lead. Take it back. They had it 1-0 on the Whitehurst free throw. Kenny Briggs checking into the ball game. Cassie will go out for Indian Hills. Durant over to McIntosh. Whitehurst feeds to Anderson. Blackshear with a handoff, leans in. One-hander, too strong. Hermes grabbing the board. It is stripped away, but stepping out of bounds in the process is Whitehurst. And Indian Hills will keep it. And great to have you watching the coverage, whether it's on our website, JockJive.com, or on YouTube. Great to have you on the other end of the broadcast tonight. A little later start than anticipated because of the length of the ladies' game. And there was a traveling charge to Briggs. Coyotes to put it in play right beneath our crow's nest here. Durant taking a right turn to the paint, kicks it outside of the arc to Whitehurst. Steps inside the arc, the long two. Rebounded by Nimmers. Lobs into the corner to Sparks. Trying to get a toss to Hermez. Still a 1-point game. Couple of teams that combined put about 160 points on the board. Thus far have put 9 up. But we're a long way from wrapping this one up. Durant. Coyotes with the lead. Three ball no good. Hermez had it, lost it. Durant picks it up. And there was a foul committed by Briggs. Non-shooting foul. Coyotes bring it in from the baseline. I checked that from the sidelines, right in front of the Coastal North bench. Durant nearly lost it, able to get it back. Devontae Hall into the ballgame, creating the defense that nearly created the turnover, and there is the turnover. Fed into the corner, open out front. Hall goes to the opposite side. The ball didn't want it. Into the paint, Nimmers. And that will go out of bounds. The last touching the Warriors. Coyotes will have it. Just a couple of more basketball dates before Thanksgiving. Saturday in Georgia, South Georgia Tech and Chat Valley. Monday back here. Women's basketball. Blackshear for three, nails it. Four-point lead. Got a Warrior and three Coyotes getting ready to check into the ball game at the next dead ball. Durant has his pocket picked and is laid in for an easy two by Hall. Not and up at 9 inside 5 minutes into the ball game. Air ball on the Blackshear three. Wanted a foul, didn't get it. Rebounded by Hall. Into the paint, leaning in. Shot will not drop for LeBeau. And it will go out of bounds. And here come the four guys on the sidelines. Three for the Monroeville team and one for Indian Hills. Awak Makar was sent back to the sidelines until he tucked in the jersey. And he's got it tucked and he's back onto the floor. Put in play to Pike to Makar. Got a couple of Makars on the floor. The ball coming up with a loose ball. Got a jump on, and the possession arrow will keep us on this end of the floor in a 9-apiece game. In play to Hall. McCarr coming over to set the screen, gets the ball. After the screen set, goes out front to LeBeau. He'll drive, bank it off the glass. McCarr chasing it down. And we almost had officials convinced there was a shot clock violation, but that one did get rim, and the clock never got reset. So it is reset to 20 on the Rimmer. Hall lobbing it to McCarr. And it's Chi Evans who's in, as well as Michael Willis. Got Abdul Bayai. All newcomers on the floor for the Coyotes. McIntosh, brief screen, flipped over to Evans. Thought about the three. Blackshear open up front. Dips the three in and out, but Evans down with the rebound. Brings it to the glass. Over McCarr. Shot no good. And it will go out of bounds off Evans. Indian Hills with a basketball. Hermes getting ready to check into the ball game. It will happen in the next dead ball. 13-10. Left in half number one. Three ball launched from the corner by McCarr. And a pair of threes have expanded the lead to 6. Bayai working it right side. Out front it goes to Willis. Blackshear's got it. Trying to rid himself of the McCarr defense. Willis out front. Working it to the right side. Evans setting the screen. Back over it goes to Evans. Evans with the spin underneath. McIntosh. High percentage two. Dribble picked up by Briggs. Evans with the steal down to Bayai. Into the paint, McIntosh. Another one of those short-range twos. LeBeau picking up the dribble, then puts it on the floor. Over to Briggs. McCarr's got it. Feeds it to LeBeau. Shoots the three off the rim. Able to sky for the board and put it back up and in is Briggs. Bayai from just outside of the paint. Trying to bank it, couldn't. LeBeau's got it. Gives it over to Hall. Hall on the other end of the floor. And apparently he will draw the foul. It is committed by McIntosh. And it's got Hall going to the stripe shooting. Hall averaging 7 points a game. This is a 71% free throw shooting team. $11-14 to play. Half number one, Hermes. Back into the ball game for Indian Hills. Also Cassie back in. Missed free throw and a missed opportunity. Missed opportunity for the Coyotes to get the basketball. Well, the AD of the Coastals here tonight, Daniel Head. The commissioner of the ACCC, Dean Myrick, here tonight as well. Willis' shot off Cassie and out of bounds. Ozell Purifoy checking in. Blackshear getting his first breather of the night. So of the starters for the Coyotes, the only one who hasn't come off the floor is McIntosh. Purifoy and Willis, immediate jumper. Too strong. Rebounded by Briggs. Hermes short of the three try. And Purifoy able to track down the board. Over goes to McIntosh, bringing it baseline. Reverse makes it a three-point game. Briggs, quick toss to Hermes. McCarr to Cassie, three-pointer no good. Hermes had it, Willis takes it away. Over it goes to Willis. Willis feeds it into the corner. McIntosh out of the corner. Runs into McCarr. Trying to kiss it high off the window. Purifoy able to pick it up. Bank it off the glass. And turn it into a one-point game. And there was a timeout on the floor. Coyotes trimming it to one halfway through the half.
It's the dreaded appointment. You've put it off long enough. You've run out of excuses. And now you've got to face your fears head on. Fortunately, there's someone there who won't hold your feelings against you. Somebody whose efforts instead will give you your best selfie smile. You'll thank her when it's over. Be somebody. Enroll in the Dental Assisting Program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, I mentioned that the commissioner to my left, which I guess would be your left too, right? Dean Myrick and the AD, Daniel Head, here in Monroeville. Watching the Coyotes host the 7th ranked team in the country. Briggs sending it to LeBeau, back to Briggs. Sparks with it topside, he can hit those, and he does. Loose ball, McIntosh rolls it out to Bayeye. And Bayeye backs it out to near midcourt. Back over to McIntosh. Brayshawn Williams in the game too. McCarr stolen. Bayeye says, I'll take that right back. Back to Williams, and let's see, got an official stoppage. I don't think that was foul related. I think it was clock related. And let's see what changes we'll get. 8:59 and 12. Game and shot clock. So let's see if something changes, and I'm pretty sure it will based on the fact that officials are looking at the scoreboard and the scorekeeper is feverishly working at putting up the accurate numbers. And there you see a little extra time on the clock at 9:03. And a little extra on the shot clock at 27. Okay, a lot extra on the shot clock. In play to Bayeye as we resume play. McIntosh down low, nothing there. Picks up the dribble, gives to Purifoy, back to McIntosh. Tipped back onto the floor into the hands of Cassie. Somebody got knocked down, and that somebody was Willis, and it was Briggs that put him there. Here comes Amarian Nimmers back into the ball game. Briggs will go out for Indian Hills. They lost last night to the number 1 team in the country, Northwest Florida State, by 16. Screen set by Williams. Purifoy in the paint. Loose ball tracked down in the corner by LeBeau. Sparks too strong. McIntosh with it. Fed to Purifoy. Whips it right back over to Williams for 2. Fed into the corner. Nimmers. Back it goes to Cassie. McCarr with a screen. Cassie into the plate. Williams fouling him, and McCarr shooting. Not a lot of fouls in the first half. 7 total. And Cassie will be shooting. In a 2-point contest, 7:41 left in the half. At the half, Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC, is our special guest. Final score in that women's game, a 79-49 final. Pearl River knocking off Coastal Alabama North. Purifoy, fouled by Nimmers. And it'll be Purifoy going to the stripe. Well, Division I junior college basketball, the national championships, obviously that's the aspiration for everybody playing basketball, to get to the nationals. And in D1, it's been in one spot for 50-plus years. Hutchinson, Kansas. So if you are Indian Hills, that's the goal. You want to take a trip to Kansas at the end of the year. If you are a Division II like Coastal North, you want to go to Illinois, play in Danville. And that is where the Division II Nationals takes place. Nimmers off the glass, not there. McCarr with a rebound, it wouldn't fall. Coming out with it is Cassie, goes out to Sparks. Back over to Cassie, working it left side into the corner. LeBeau with a drive off the glass, or actually, I don't think it got any glass, off the rim. Purifoy with a miss. Nimmers has got it, going to the other end of the floor. Sparks feeds back to McCarr. Lead goes to 5. Anderson in the scorer's table, set to come back into the ball game for the Coyotes as Willis misfires on the 3. Purifoy with it. Leans in, rejected by McCarr. LeBeau's got it. Over to Cassie. And there was a blocking foul by Willis. Got a couple of Warriors set to check into the game too. That is Awak McCarr and Devontae Hall. Well, Cassie goes to the stripe. One more for Cassie. Averaging 6 points per night. This is a team that scores 83 on average. Couple of misses. The board belongs to McIntosh. Whitehurst back into the game, bringing it down. Over to Anderson, who's back in too. Blackshear's back in as well. Into the corner to Whitehurst, shoots the three, hits the three. It's a bucket ball game. Whistle and foul. And I think that is charged to Anderson. Nimmers puts it in play. Hall over to McCarr. McCarr with a miss. And Hermez reaching over the back of Anderson, committing the personal. I think he is probably coming out. Going to the scorer's table is Shamir Carruthers. And let's see who he replaces. It is McCarr who will go out. Well, we didn't have that many fouls not that long ago, but we've got enough now to get a shooter. And that shooter will be Ethan Anderson. Anderson 50-50 at the stripe. Averages a point a night. Getting his second start of the year tonight against the number 7 ranked Warriors. And it's thrown away, pass intended for Carruthers. Sparks, after a breather, back into the ball game for Indian Hills. Three-pointer for Whitehurst. And the lead will slide back over to the home team. The miss by LeBeau. Blackshear's got it. AI down to McIntosh. McIntosh bringing it baseline. Banks it off the glass. Three ball, just a little wide right. That is Carruthers with a miss. Basketball belonging to the Warriors. Nimmers to put it in play right by the Gatorade cooler. There is a foul. Let's see what the foul is. Got a 2 and a 1. A 2 and a 1 belongs to Whitehurst. It's the only 2 and 1 on the floor. So Whitehurst picking up the foul. Put in play for the baseline by Sparks. Lobs to Hermez. Handoff given to Nimmers. Nimmers off the glass for 2. It's a 1-point game. Bayeye working into the right side. Feeds over to McIntosh. Whitehurst. A little separation he created, missed the shot on the 3. Anderson, though, able to get the rebound, goes over to Bayeye. 20 added to the shot clock. 28-27 Coastal lead. Bay with a miss. Hermans with a board. Hermans leaning in, got the 2. And the lead goes back over to Indian Hills. Bay into the corner. Blackshear back to Bay. McIntosh over to Whitehurst. He'll shoot the 3. Just a little bit short. Nimmers with it. And there was a travel on the receiving end by Sparks. Parker Williams coming into the ball game for the Coyotes. She Evans back in 2. Inside 3 to play, half number 1. Bayai to Evans, steps behind the arc, launches the 3, trying to bank it. Loose ball, LeBeau's got it. Gives it to Sparks. Other end of the floor, the baseline move by Carruthers. And there was a foul with 2.5 to play. Carruthers, who averages about a bucket a night at the stripe. Makes the first of 2. Turns it into a 2-point ball game. Again, halftime ACCC Commissioner Dean Myrick. That's 2.5 minutes away. Bay bringing it to midcourt. Carruthers with him each step of the way. And a hand check and foul. Well, that is a common denominator that we have seen frequently recently. And that is disallowance or non-allowance of the hand check. Officials calling it a lot more often than previous years. Travis Johnson checking into the game. McIntosh, who has spent nearly 18 minutes on the floor, coming out and will apparently rest the final 2:20 and a half. Sparks directing traffic on his way to the left side of the floor. That is LeBeau leaning in, no good with a shot. Initially Parker Williams with it. Then LeBeau took it away, and apparently Williams committed the foul, trying to get it back. So LeBeau will shoot. You know, the interesting thing, too, about this Indian Hills squad, they've had 4 games coming into tonight. And of the 4 games, they have had a different leading scorer every night. LeBeau has been one of those 4. Averages a double a night, 15 boards. I make that 10 boards and 15 points per. Blackshear over to Williams. Got it to the timeline, brings it top of the key, over and goes to Brayshawn Williams. His missed shot picked up by Sparks. The lean in and the bucket for LeBeau. Williams over to Bayeye. Johnson to Blackshear. Blackshear switching to the left hand, no good. Hermes with the rebound. LeBeau sends into the corner. That is Hall for three. LeBeau able to get the rebound. And trying to take it away was Johnson, and Johnson commits the foul. Anderson and Evans in, Williams and Johnson out for the Coyotes, and now Willis back in and Blackshear out. 50 seconds left to play, half number one. No good with the shot. Coyotes have it on the other end of the floor. Willis with it. Working to the top of the key, Anderson giving over to Bayeye. He'll put the shot up from the charity stripe, comes up just a little bit short. Anderson had it, put it up. Hermes blocked it from the backside. Indian Hills trying to run the final moments of the first half off the clock and get some points out of it. Three-pointer, it is no good. And that is it for a half of basketball, a 35-30. Indian Hills lead. This Division II Coastal Alabama North squad. Not a bad first half against the 7th-ranked D1 school in the country. Well, we promised you a halftime conversation with Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC. That's coming up in 60 seconds.
Preparing for surgery is like getting ready for the big game. You arrive early. You get your mind right. You make sure every tool is ready and the team has the right equipment. Your patient may never know your name. They may never realize that somebody cared enough to ensure all the little tasks were done right. But that's okay. You do. Be somebody. Enroll in the Surgical Technology program at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, it's a conversation with Dean Myrick, the commissioner of the ACCC. Commissioner, how are you?
I'm good, Robert. How are you?
I am doing good. Boy, this is a change year for the ACCC. I mean, a lot of changes going on. You've added programs. You've got multiple divisions. So has it been different for you as a commissioner going into 23-24 as compared to any of the other prior years based on these changes?
It really hasn't. As I think you and I discussed earlier, if you did not know ahead of time that we had Division I and II, you would never know it. The only really way you would know it is if you look, say, on our website and saw a Division I set of standings, a Division II set of standings, and maybe once we get to postseason. But it's been smooth. It's going to be positive, and I think the biggest positive for us is being shown right now with Wallace State at the National Volleyball Tournament. They're going to sweep their first round match at that national tournament. And no disrespect to them at all, we were just at a disadvantage at the Division I level, whether it was internationals, room and board, so on and so forth. So, that my mindset early on when we were discussing this is regular season and postseason, you're not going to tell a difference until you get to the national tournament. And that's playing out as we know it, right now with volleyball. We saw a little bit of it with cross country the last couple of years at Division II, being able to finish a top 5 in the country versus maybe a top 30 at the Division I level. So that's playing out very, very well right now, and we're starting to get in the thick of basketball, and we'll see a little bit of difference there. And it'll get a little bit busy. We'll have 2 separate tournaments, a Division II, a Division I, but really other than that, that's it. We'll have 2 teams being able to go to postseason, which will give more student athletes and schools and coaches and community the opportunity to experience a national tournament, which is always a good thing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but technically all junior colleges in Alabama could be D2 based on the fact that none provide housing for their athletes, which is what makes you D1 status. Is that correct?
That is correct. In the past, our schools did not have an option of declaring Division II, but we were able to have great discussion with our presidents, outline the positives. To be honest, there really weren't any negatives. Our scholarship structure did not change one bit. So our schools were able to transition very, very easily. Our biggest thing that we had to discuss was how are we going to schedule? Is it going to be a state schedule? Or are we still staying north-south? So on and so forth. So, once we figured all that out, I mean, we're ready to go, and it's going to be a smooth transition for us all.
And I'm assuming it was to the discretion of the schools as to whether they would be D1 or D2?
It's completely up to them. And it's not a division by college, so you may have we have like all cross country is D2. All of volleyball went D2 by a sport. But we had a mixture of baseball, softball, and the basketballs. We did not have this happen yet. We initially did, but a school changed their direction on this. But you could even have men's basketball at 1, women at 2, or vice versa. So it's completely up to their discretion. I kept the schools informed of who was doing what, how many teams we were looking at having, and ultimately it ended up about a 50-50 split of D1 and D2, which is a good mix.
Did you need a certain number of teams participating in each division to make, let's say, the postseason tournaments happen?
Yes and no. We talked about, what we didn't want is to have, and I'm just making up numbers, 15 men's basketball teams at D1 and 3 at D2. I mean, that's kind of going to defeat the purpose of what we were trying to do. But and there were preliminary discussions with our ADs and coaches. It kind of had a good idea of who was going to do what. So no, there was no minimum. Now we will see possibly in women's golf. That's what we are going to have. They created a Division II level in women's golf. So really all of our schools except for one went Division II. one state Division One, and really that Division One school will still compete with us during the regular season. It just depends on where they may go for postseason. But so yes and no, we never really ran into that situation, Robert, to where we had very little schools. Now, women's basketball, we started off that way because we don't have as many women's teams as men's. But that ended up working itself out.
What about where the postseason tournaments are concerned? I think the last time we spoke, I believe every sport had been decided where they would play their postseason tournament, but was that problematic? And will they always be like on consecutive weeks, or could they be playing simultaneously?
It depends on if our region or conference is a district. In the past, we've been together, so our region was the same as a district. Division One men's and women's basketball stayed the same, so that will be a region or conference / region / district tournament. Division Two, they are districted with Florida, so we will have to play a week earlier for our conference tournament with that winner playing the Florida winner during the time of our Division One tournament. Baseball, it's the same thing. Baseball D2 will be a week earlier, still in Oxford, but a week earlier, and then our winner will play the Florida winner. In softball, we combined the region and district, so Florida will send their top 3 teams. We'll have 5, and we will combine region / district into one tournament. So we'll be crowning our conference tournament champion as well as the district champion. And they could be different, kind of like we've had in volleyball, as you know.
What determines whether the district and region is included in one event or separated?
That's an NJCAA decision. And I try to get a little bit of information, and being in this 26 years now, I have a really good idea of what we may looking at. I knew all along that baseball and softball and basketball would probably go with Florida just from a numbers, which is fine. That worked out well, and Florida and myself were really good relationships and able to work that out pretty easily. So yeah, that's an NJCAA decision, but I try to let our schools know, hey, if you go here, this is kind of what we're going to be looking at, and if you go D1, this is what we may be looking at. So most of Division Two, now volleyball, we were in with Mississippi. Division Two, men and women's basketball with Florida. Same with D2, baseball and softball with Florida. Division One baseball, we are in with Region 23, which will be Louisiana. So they will send their top 2 teams to join our top 6 for an 8-team combination region / district tournament. Softball was fortunate enough to still keep their automatic, so that'll just be one tournament. Winner goes to the national tournament. Golf and tennis, they stayed exactly the same, so no changes in that.
Where these district tournaments are concerned that involve other states, is the host determined on a rotating basis, or how will that work year in and year out?
Yes. With Florida, I get with the Florida commissioner, and we talk about, if the numbers are comparable, that's easy, because we're looking at 4 years, so they'll host twice, we'll host twice. Now, as an example, D1 baseball, we've got 3 times as many teams as Louisiana, so over the 4-year period, we will host 3 of those 4 years. To make it proportionate to what we have. So it's basically a negotiating deal with those individuals from those regions. But like I said, those went pretty smooth. and everything worked out for the very best for both, I think.
We are putting this interview on YouTube, but it also airs at halftime of basketball games, which is only 15 minutes. So I've got about 60 seconds, but I definitely want to ask about the addition of teams, especially in basketball, because interestingly, Reed State, from probably one of the smaller communities in Alabama that has a junior college, has had an exciting start to the basketball program. So you've got to be pleased.
It was I was fortunate enough to go to their first game in Evergreen. Get a little Connect a Dog pregame meal there at the gift shop there. So that's always good. But it was a standing room only crowd, great crowd, involved crowd. It was a great game between Reed and Coastal South and Bay Minette. It was just a really good way to kick off the 23-24 season. And, like I said earlier, if that game is any indication of what our season's going to look like, it's going to be a really good year for us. So, we have a lot of teams that have gotten off to a good start, and we'll go down to Coastal North tonight and see them and Indian Hills play. And for us to get a caliber team like an Indian Hills to come to Alabama, that says a lot too. So we'll be there, cheering on Coach Taylor and Coastal North here tonight. And the women at Pearl River too.
That's right. Got Pearl River ranked, I think it is 13, taking on Coastal North, and Indian Hills ranked 7, taking on Coastal North tonight. Dean Myra, Commissioner of the ACCC, I feel certain we will talk again. Thanks so much for the conversation.
Sounds good, Robert. Thank you.
You're organized, driven, focused, ready to create the life of luxury in the most beautiful and unique locations, locally and around the world. Discover hospitality management at Coastal Alabama Community College.
We get ready for second half action. Indian Hills with a 35-30 lead over the homestanding Coyotes of Coastal North. And it will be the Coyotes who will put it in play as we get second half action underway. The 7th-ranked Warriors out of Indian Hills losing down in Niceville last night to the number 1 team in the country, Northwest Florida State. McIntosh the miss. And it is Sparks who has it on the other end of the floor. A little different look to the starting 5 in half number 2 as compared to half 1. Got Whitehurst, Blackshear, Evans, McIntosh, and Bayeye. So Anderson, who started the first half, and Durant, who started half number 1. Not on the floor to begin half number 2. For Indian Hills, though, different story. Same 5 that began half 1, began half 2. Cassie, Nimmer, Sparks, LeBeau, and Hermes. Cassie, top side, left side, give to Sparks. Into the corner to Nimmers. And the shot clock ran out without Indian Hills being aware it was running out. And we are a minute into the second half and still got on the board one we had at the half, a 35-30 ball game. Bayeye whipping it to Evans. Excellent pass. And all Evans had to do was lay it up and in. Bayeye had the hard part, threading the needle. Handoff given to LeBeau. Kicks it over to Cassie. Cassie steps inside the arc. Long two, not there. Rebounded by Whitehurst. That is a Bayeye three, just a little bit long. Hermans with the rebound, gives it over to Sparks. Out of the corner comes Nimmers. Sparks stepping on the whiskers of the Coyote in midcourt over to Hermans. Hands it to Nimmers. It is stolen away. Whitehurst has got it. Lays it up, lays it in. He's got a chance to tie. So Whitehurst with a big play. And now goes to the line with a chance to cap off the three and knot us up at 35. And the Coyotes with a chance to begin the second half on a 5-0 run. Whitehurst misfiring. Off the window. Count the bucket. And the miniature 4-0 run snapped. Little give and go to Bayeye. Into the paint, McIntosh. Draws a lot of attention, but the foul will be committed. And well, I think it might have been LeBeau that committed the foul. Hermes thought it was he to begin with. It looks like it was LeBeau committing the personal. And that's got McIntosh at the line with a chance to draw the Coyotes to within one. This is the area that McIntosh struggles. He is a 45% free throw shooter. Averaging 17, nearly 18 a night. Shooting less than 50% of the stripe. Imagine where he would be if he was hitting about 70 or 80% of those free throws. Gets all of them on that trip. Three-pointer. And it's a miss for Briggs, but the follow-up is good. Tipped away, Whitehurst able to go back and get it. Gets across midcourt in the allotted 10. Whitehurst the miss, Blackshear the putback. Into the corner to LeBeau. And that little move, that head and shoulders move, creating the walk for Briggs. And a chance for Coastal North to take the lead, their first in the second half. Giving over to Bayeye. Bringing it baseline. Just a little bit short. LeBeau with the board. Blackshear nearly took it away. Able to get it back was Hall. Blackshear the rebound off the Hall miss. Bayeye with it. Timeline on the left side. Evans thought about something from the elbow. Goes to Blackshear. Hits the three. Coyotes by 2. Sparks bringing it to the right side, gives to Hermes. Working Evans, and the shot misses. Evans with a board. To the other end of the floor, one of the reverse couldn't get it to fall. Hermes has it. Sends it to LeBeau. And LeBeau short of the shot. Rebounded by McIntosh. Evans with a miss, but there is a foul. And Evans will head to the stripe shooting. Foul committed by Sparks. So an opportunity to add to the lead for the Coyotes. This 2-point lead is as big as it has been for the Coyotes. Well, I'll check that. Now that I think about it, I think they had a 9-5 lead in the first half. So a chance now for Evans to match the 4-point lead. Nobody's led by double digits in this one. Tipped out of bounds by Cassie. I make that Blackshear. And it will be Briggs in possession. Sparks. That is Briggs with a miss. Sparks to put it in from the baseline. In play to Hermes. Briggs. Three-second violation. Was waiting on the official. Took a while to tell us what the infraction was. But eventually gives us the 3-second indication. Loose ball retrieved by Blackshear. Payai bringing it out front. Evans with the screen. And there is a whistle. There is a foul. And the foul going to be called on Sparks. So the Coyotes will bring it in from the baseline. LeBeau back into the ballgame. Cassie out. McCarr in. And Hermes out. Nimmers in. And Sparks will go out. Bayine to put it in play from the baseline. Does so to Evans. Feeds it over to Blackshear. McIntosh asking for it out front. Back it goes to McIntosh. Got the roll for two. Coyotes with their biggest lead at 6. Over it goes to Nimmers, and Nimmers walked with it. Nimmers coming out of the ball game, and it is Awak McCarr in. So a couple of McCarrs in. Poitras and Awak. And yes, it is possible, it may be even probable, as Willis busts the 3. But I mispronounced some names, my apologies. And is swatted out of bounds by McCarr. 9-point lead, Coyotes. And the number 7 ranked team in the country wants a timeout.
Discover pastry baking at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, there is Chuck Taylor right in the middle of that herd of coyotes. Do you call them herds? I don't think that's the appropriate term for a group of coyotes. And he's got his coyotes on top. And would love to begin pulling away. And I'm sure part of the plan is Evans will knock down the 2. Part of the discussion was do not let the foot off the accelerator. You got a team in Indian Hills that can get back into a ball game. Don't let them. Got a feeling that was kind of a jest of the conversation. LeBeau short on the shot. Blackshear's got it. McIntosh taking a turn to the glass and commits the foul. So McIntosh will pick up the foul, the personal. Indian Hills to bring it in from the baseline on the opposite end of the floor. Still got a ton of time left in the ball game, though. Leaning in is Briggs, banks it off the glass. And it is thrown away by Bayi. Evans off the floor, Anderson in. Blackshear out and Purifoy in. Hey, by the way, if you like junior college football, you're going to love the JUCO Weekly podcast. It's available wherever you download your podcast, and specifically, you can find it on JUCOweekly.org. Briggs with the 3. And right now we're talking junior college football, but in about 2 or 3 weeks, we'll be talking about junior college basketball. So wherever you find your podcasts, and if you can't find it there, what a nice save by McIntosh, able to get it out front to Bayi. Find it on the JUCO Weekly website. Anderson has it stripped away. LeBeau grabs it. And Hall goes to the other end of the floor. Jumper from Briggs. Air ball on the 3. Hermes with it. And he got a push from Anderson. That'll go into the corner to Hermes. And again, that battle of the big guys, and that's going to be an offensive on Hermes. Trying to shed himself of the Anderson defense and commits the foul in the process. Purifoy lost it, and apparently there was a reason. Joe Sash is the head coach at Indian Hills in his first year there. And gave one of those, aggravated or disgusted looks that coaches can sometimes give on a foul call. Willis with a miss. Hermes able to grab it. Henderson shoves him down. That'll be the 5th foul on the Coyotes. Got a little perspiration on the floor. That'll be tended to before we resume play. Thanks so much, by the way. I see Daniel Head on the other side of the floor. AD of all the Coastals for the opportunity to bring you Coastal North and Coastal South. Volleyball, basketball, softball, and baseball. Wrapped up our volleyball coverage at the end, actually regular season at the end of October, but when you include the postseason, the first part of this month, just a couple of weeks ago. And now into basketball, and it won't be long until we're doing baseball and softball. Briggs feeds to Hermes, and Hermes high percentage shot. All of a sudden, it's a 4-point game again. And Chuck Taylor says, guys, let's talk. 10:33 to go. 50-46 Coyotes.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master electrical and mechanical skills, process controls, hydraulics and pneumatics, and land a job that can take you anywhere. Start your path to a career that pays. Discover electrical and instrumentation technology at Coastal Alabama Community College.
I think that is the broadcast crew for Indian Hills. I see they've got a camera up in the stands and sitting there on the sidelines. So, hey, when you got some friends in the business working the game, got to send them out a little camera love. Good to have you here in Alabama. Got a 4-point game with 10.5 to play. Purifoy to bring it in from the sidelines near the bench. And gets it to Bayi. Trying to fire to McIntosh, and it was kind of like the old days when John Elway was quarterbacking and had a lot of heat on a 5-yard pass. Sometimes hard to catch. And McIntosh couldn't hang on. Hall sending it into the corner. Sparks from there, misses on the 3. Anderson able to track it down, and Coyotes with it. Back over to Willis. Bayi to the top of the key. McIntosh from the timeline. Shoots over LeBeau. And a foul committed. It's got Purifoy shooting the 1-and-1. Just a little better than halfway through the second half of play. The lead has been double digits. It's currently single digits at 4. Front into the 1-and-1. A miss for Purifoy. Hermans with it. Top of the key, Sparks. Too strong. LeBeau grabbing the rebound. Briggs. And he'll be charged with the offensive, ran over Anderson. So Briggs coming out of the ball game. Nimmers will check back in. Blackshear coming in for the Coyotes, and Willis will exit. Here comes Evans to the scorer's table, and he'll get in at the next dead ball. Off the window, no good. Bayeye make that Purifoy with a miss. McIntosh gets it, goes to Bayeye. Flips it with a left hand. I'm not sure who to. Cheerleader was the closest. Anderson coming out. Evans back in for the Coyotes. Over to Nimmers, feeds it down low to Hermes. Sparks back over to LeBeau, puts up the short two, got the roll, and we've got a 2-point game. Ball back over to Indian Hills as Whitehurst comes in and Purifoy will exit for the Coyotes. LeBeau with a miss. Blackshear there waiting for the rebound. And there was a foul on a Warrior. And that Warrior is Hermes. And that will prompt the 1-and-1 as we go to the other end of the floor. Evans shooting, Hermes coming out of the game. Briggs will come back in. Eight minutes, 20 seconds to play. And another miss on the front end of a 1-and-1, and McIntosh apparently climbing over the back of Hall. And that will be the 6th foul committed by the Coyotes. They are one away from putting the Warriors at the stripe the rest of the night. Time put back on the clock. It was 8:02. It is 8:10. As it is brought in from the baseline. Jumper from the elbow. Sparks short. Tipped out. Briggs able to get to it. Over to Hall. Sticks it into the corner. Nimmers way short on the three. So short that McIntosh might have got a hand on it. Over to Evans. Gives it to Whitehurst. Looks down low. Trying to get it to McIntosh. Let him a bit too much. Hall trying to tie it. He won't, but LeBeau will. And with 7:24 to play, we are tied at 50 each.
Think you need a 4-year degree to make good money? Think again. Get training in your own backyard. Master a skill to land a job fast. And start your path to a career that pays. Discover welding at Coastal Alabama Community College. So what are you waiting for?
.724 left to play in a 50 each contest. By the way, don't forget, follow us Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads. Hey, if it's a free social media, we sign up for it. Well, almost all free social media sources. YouTube as well, so subscribe to our YouTube channel if you don't mind. Willis with a miss, so make that Evans with a miss. McIntosh with a putback. From the corner, Briggs missing on the 3. It will go out of bounds. And last touch, LeBeau. Whitehurst puts it in play to Blackshear. Bayeye had a second to spare in getting it across midcourt in the allotted 10. Over to Whitehurst. Feeds it to Evans to Blackshear. Drives. Couldn't get it to bounce off the window and in. Fed to Nimmers. Nimmers with a miss. And Briggs will bounce it out of bounds. And we've got a timeout on the floor. 6:13 to go. Coyotes reclaiming the lead, but not by much.
What's up, y'all? Here at Coastal Alabama, about to go and get this leg day started. Let's get it. We're here again after it today. Hey, let's go, baby. Let's ride. Yes, sir.
.613 to play as it is put in play to Blackshear, back to Whitehurst to Bayeye. Lost on the floor by Blackshear. Hall feeding it to LeBeau, and McIntosh will reject it. So LeBeau going to the stripe and shooting. Trying to tie the ball game up at 52. And LeBeau pretty good at shooting free throws. About 90%. 9 out of 10. Trying to tie it up at 52. Well, he doesn't miss much, but he missed there. And Briggs will commit the foul, trying to take it away from McIntosh. McIntosh shooting the 1-1. Last 2 trips to the line, shooting a 1-1. Coyotes missed the first of 2. Well, they must be in. Yep, they are. Into the double bonus. So you can miss the first and still have a shot at the second. Brings out Hermes in for Indian Hills. Willis coming to the scorer's table, but he will come in from McIntosh. So not coming in at the moment. McIntosh 1 of 2. LeBeau puts it in play to Hall. Over to LeBeau. Finger roll for 2. We're tied at 53. Whitehurst back over to Evans. Trying to shoot it over the big guy. Hermes. Also the shot. It misses. LeBeau's got it. Top of the key. Sparks with it. LeBeau drawing the foul. And it will be committed by Willis. As we get ready to enter the last quarter of the second half. Last 5 minutes. LeBeau, the 90% free throw shooter at the stripe. Here's the guy that doesn't miss much. I mentioned 9 out of 10. Or 90 out of 100. And he's missed back-to-back free throws. Breaks the tie with the back end of the 2. McIntosh coming back in. And Blackshear coming out. As we get inside, 5 minutes to play. Fender Evans, it is stripped away. Got him on the quad on the way out. And it'll be Indian Hills with possession. In a 1-point game, Anderson headed to the scorer's table to check in for the Coyotes. Fender LeBeau, he did that little kind of, I don't know if you call it a back bend or a butt bend, to try to see where the defense of McIntosh was, and then dropped it in. Extends the lead to 3. Pei going into the corner, the 3-pointer off the rim for Whitehurst. And there is a LeBeau foul. Coyotes into the double bonus, so it's 2 shots for McIntosh. Generally speaking, 1 for 2 when he goes to the line. Anderson coming into the game. Evans will exit for the Coyotes. McIntosh trying to make it a 1-point game. And he does. Hall able to drop it in for two. Still a one-possession game, inside 4 to go. Bayeye driving it in is rejected by Hermes. I think Bayeye may be still looking for his first points of the game. Averaging 10 a game. Brings it in for the baseline. Fires to Whitehurst. A little bit short, Hermes with a rebound. Kicks it out to Sparks. There's contact and LeBeau initiated it. So LeBeau picking up the foul. Brought in for the baseline on the opposite end of the floor by Willis. In a 58-55 contest. Over to Bayeye, got it at the timeline on the left side. McIntosh the screen, Hall steps around it. Anderson over to Blackshear. McIntosh for three. Short on the shot, rebounded by Nimmers over to Hall. Nimmers out of the corner, picks up at the top of the key, feeds to a wide open Hall, and he's short on the three try. Shot clock halfway through. Over it goes to LeBeau. Shoots over Blackshear, couldn't get the roll. Rebounded by Anderson. And will go out of bounds off of Sparks. And there is a timeout on the floor requested by Indian Hills. 2:22 to go in a one-possession battle.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Cheerleading squad, faithful to be here for home games. Trying to play a role in motivating the Coyotes. Down by a possession with 2:22 to play. Willis to put it in play from the bench. Well, you know, he's not actually seated on the bench, but right there in front of the Coyote bench. In play to Evans. Back it goes to Bayeye. Over to Evans, thought about the three, brings it into the paint, off the window, got the bucket, got the foul, has a chance for three. Big bucket for Chi Evans. And now we'll try to tie it up at 58. he will do just that. Well, with 2 minutes to go in the game, now granted, Chuck Taylor wants to win this thing. But even if he doesn't, this is the 7th ranked team in the country in Division I basketball. I know you don't want a feel-good game, you want to win. But Coastal North there's the offensive on LeBeau. But Coastal North has got to be pleased with tonight's performance, regardless of what happens in the final 145. .144 to play with a chance to take the lead. Bayeye feeds into the corner. Three-pointer, an air ball from Willis. Hall win it topside. Little weave action as Hall's got it. Puts it up near the elbow and drops it in over McIntosh. Sent to McIntosh. Over to Bayeye. Blackshear putting it up from the elbow, missed the shot, but drew the foul. And Blackshear, who has been very effective at the line, goes there with a chance to tie. .51 seconds to play. Sparks back into the ball game for Indian Hills. Nimmers will go out. And Parker Williams will enter the game for the Coyotes, while Bayeye heads to the sidelines. For the tie, Blackshear. We are knotted up at 60. John McCants checking into the game for the Coyotes. Caleb Renfro coming into the game. Parker Williams into the game. Hermes down low to LeBeau, off the window and rim. Hermes getting the rebound and will go out to Hall. And there's a timeout on the floor with a half minute to play. 60-60. Coyotes and Warriors.
It's early here at Coastal Alabama, but I'm gonna head over to the student union and maybe meet some friends, and then I'll head to class. Hey! I finally made it to class. See you later, Coastal fam.
A half minute to go in this one, a 60 apiece contest. Could there be? You know what I'm talking about. The OT word. And you got a couple of teams that really don't want to go to OT. They would like to see it wrap up in regulation. But let's see what the basketball guys have in store for us tonight. In play to LeBeau. Well, one guy indicated a blocking, and the other I thought was about to say offensive. LeBeau, one of the better free throw shooters on this Indian Hills squad, going to the stripe with 26 seconds remaining. First shot good for LeBeau. It is a 2-point ball game. And McCants will bring it across the mid part of the floor, ask for time, and the Coyotes will try to set up the game tire or the game winner. We'll find out when we return.
About to start my day, but first, coffee. Here with my coastal crew. Woo! And that's how I end my day at Coastal Alabama Community College.
Well, some gentlemen across the way enjoying the ball game, and a lady across the way, I'm sure she's on the phone talking about the ball game. Got a number 7 ranked Indian Hills Warriors and the Coyotes of Coastal Alabama North in a 2-point game with 20 seconds to play, and now timeout asked for by Indian Hills. They lost last night to the number 1 team in the country, Northwest Florida State. And we're hoping to rebound with a win tonight against Division II foe, Coastal Alabama North. Well, they might win it. They might not. Either way, they are going to know they were in a fight to literally the very end. Willis to put it in play. He'll do so to Evans. They won it on a last-second shot against Southwest Mississippi. Bayeye into the corner. Willis off on the 3, put back, no good. Shot came late and the ball game is over. But what a fight out of the Coyotes against the number 7th ranked Warriors of Indian Hills. They didn't come in here tonight and get an easy win. They got a hard-fought, difficult victory. Coyotes fall to 4-4 on the year. Indian Hills 4-1. And you got a split of the twin bill. Opening game, actually not a split, my apologies. Opening game, Pearl River wins it. Nightcap, Indian Hills takes it. Thanks for watching our coverage tonight. We will see you Saturday in Georgia. South Georgia Tech and Chatton Valley, slated for a 6 Eastern and a 5 Central start. Until then, for all the Coastals and JockJive, I'm Robert Williamson. So long, everybody.